Check out my next video on how I made the turmeric mask. So before I do this face mask, I'm going to rinse my face off. Just make it a little damp. I use just room temperature water, not cold, not hot, just your average water for your face. Okay, so while I do this mask, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story about how I am every day working towards overcoming bitterness. So I didn't even realize that I was bitter until I could not, oh no, make sure you don't put it on your eyebrows, because then your eyebrows gonna be like tinted. How I truly did not want to see people who I didn't care for succeed. And this is just full transparency, and I've grown a lot since then, but I just want to tell this story in case anyone else can relate to not wanting to see people or a person that has caused you harm or has caused a lot of grief and anger and drama and just mess in your life succeed. Now that took a lot for me to even acknowledge the fact that I was like that. And when I knew I was like that, with multiple situations, especially during my undergrad, where there were people I've encountered, and even not even just undergrad, just throughout my life, that I really didn't want what's best for them. And I think it was one of my fellow bloggers. She made a tweet and she said, I don't no longer say I want what's best, like I'm wishing you the best. Instead, she said, I'm wishing you what you deserve. And that was honestly, like, however you might take it, that was one of the realest tweets. And I'm going to put the tweet at the bottom. That was one of the most realest tweets I've ever seen. Because so many times we say, oh, we shouldn't wish bad on people. And I had a time where I did. Like, I truly did not want to see, not even people succeed. Like, I just didn't want any good to come to certain people because I just felt like they were nasty, manipulative, just caused unnecessary drama. It was just hateful and did not show love. Were pretty much bullies. And I hated, I should say, because I'm trying not to, that's not Christian or loving to hate, but I used to hate bullies. And I really can't stand when people aren't accountable for their actions and when people don't know when it's time for them to own up and be the bigger person. And that truly grinds my gears. When I tell you, I used to not want to see people who've done me wrong succeed. Like, if you did me wrong, and if you did my friends wrong, if you did my man wrong, like, I didn't want you to see you succeed. I really was rooting for your demise. And it took years, and that goes into forgiveness. It took me so long to finally, one, forgive those who's caused so much harm and uncomfort, was that the word? Like, drama, and who just makes it seem like life is so much easy. I used to be so bitter and mad because I just felt like you deserve every horrible thing that comes to you, and I have no shame in saying it. And this was like my mindset for a while, and I didn't realize how strong it was until I went to college and still I started interacting with certain people and just being around different situations. And I'm like, I really don't want the best for you at all. Like, I don't wish you the best. I wish that you would tear an Achilles, like fail a course. I was just bitter, angry. And that, when I started to realize that I was wishing so much negativity on a person, that eventually it was turning around and hitting me. I think, and once I really discovered self-love and truly loving people and meeting people where they are and forgiveness, that was the key. When I discovered forgiveness, it kind of changed my life. When I was put through the worst times, the darkest times, it really turned my life around, because all that negativity I didn't put out in the world, it came back. And that's when I realized I can't have a hardened heart. I always had a rock type personality. My heart was pretty much rock. So my mom used to always tell people, because she knew me the best, like, don't let her exterior fool you. She actually has a gentle spirit. But it just took, and I had to realize it wasn't just the people that I interacted with that did this harm and made me this way. This was something from my childhood that made me be so mean-spirited in a way. And I realized the more harm I was doing by the things I would say, the things I would do, how I would interact with certain people, because every experience, and I felt like someone did me wrong, I just became bitter. And that wasn't a trait that I wanted to carry on throughout my undergrad, throughout my master's, and even into my adulthood. And it really took God, me being around a group of people who truly knew my heart, and it took me to be accountable for myself. So I was so mad, sick of people not being accountable for their actions, seeing like they're just getting away with all the harm they cause. Like, and that's when you don't look at another person's life, because you never know what they're going through. And that's when I realized that I need to focus on my heart, checking my heart. So I have heart checks as often as I can. I try to do it daily, where I check my heart. Why am I bitter? Why am I angry? Why am I irritated? Because I'm trying to produce a life full of love and warmness and openness and forgiveness. And my bitterness literally took a 360 when I learned to forgive. When I finally let go of certain situations and became the bigger person and truly forgave, not just posting it on social media, oh, I forgive, blah, 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 or tell somebody, I forgive you. No, I mean, like, I'm being accountable for my role in certain situations, and I understand your role, but I'm willing to meet you where you are and reconcile or not reconcile. Forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you. And I forgave myself for my roles and actions and my bitterness of heart and the negativity that, even if I didn't say it out loud, that I even thought. Because what's in the inner comes out in the outward. And that's just plain blank period. You can only fake the funk so much until it will start to show. And with that, it just really changed my life to truly forgive and to acknowledge different flaws that you have, and to be able to say, I'm willing to grow. I think that's what really changed how I interact with people and how I maneuver in this world. I was willing to learn and grow and look into my upbringing, anything from my past that caused me to have these type of traits, to just shut people out, to once you do one wrong thing, like, I'm going to reciprocate the same energy you're giving to me. And that's when I learned more about self-love, confidence, being your own person, having your own thoughts, your own opinions, doing what you need to do for you or not for the other person, and just truly trying to be a light in this world full of so much darkness, and people that you interact with being a light, because there are some dirty people out here in this world. There are some manipulative, lying, using, bitter, jealous, crazy, for lack of better words. I'm a social worker, so we try not to say crazy, but just all around not good people. And I pray daily for people like that, because I know I used to have tendencies of being a bitter, petty LaBelle, and I'm just so happy for growth. You have to take those wins. You have to acknowledge those days of growth and the way that you used to be to what you are now. Don't take that lightly, because we're all learning in this world. And as you mature and you grow and you get stronger with like your faith or whatever, you'll really start to realize that certain traits was just not the best. And it didn't produce the best results in the end, because what goes around comes around. And that's when I go back to that tweet, which pretty much sums up, excuse me to dry my hands, it sums up exactly my sentiments. I don't wish the burst on people. I wish for people to experience love, tranquility, peace, happiness. But I also am acknowledging the truth and authenticity. If I truly don't wish the best for you, I'd rather not lie and say I do. So when she made that tweet, because usually I'm like, oh, I wish nothing but the best for them, but I'm still bitter. So really, I don't wish nothing but the best, because I'm still bitter. I'm just saying it just to say it. But when she made that tweet that I wish you what you deserve, I was like, absolutely. You may think like, what you deserve, like that still sound bitter. Like, no, but what you deserve has nothing to do with what I think you deserve. When I'm telling somebody I wish you, like, especially if I can't just say I wish you the best, because it's not really in my spirit to say it. But if I can say I wish you what you deserve, that can go any way, because I don't know what people deserve. You don't know what people do when they get behind closed doors. They can be dropping to their knees in prayer. Like, you just don't know where people's hearts are. You don't know what God has in store for certain people. That's why everybody's life is different. Everybody goes through things differently. Everything comes in from the dark out into the light differently. But if somebody does you wrong and you just can't, in that time, in the space that you're currently in, to truly say I wish you the best, but if you say like I wish you what you deserve, it's kind of like saying I'm in a space where I honestly don't even know what I wish for you or what I would want for you, because at the end of the day, it's not but what I want. But if God gives you good, God gives you what you deserve in a bad way, it's out of my hands. So that's the way I look at it. You did me wrong, you hurt me, I forgive you, I'm trying to grow and learn. I wish you what you deserve, because it's out of my hands at this point. I let it go. I still pray for people, because that's what you do with my spiritual beliefs, but I just don't believe in lying. Because I don't want nobody saying you wish me the best, and it's a lie. Because then you're lying. It's about being real and authentic, right? So that's been my overall journey with bitterness. And it's an everyday learning process. And when you hold yourself accountable to certain situations, and you forgive yourself, and you forgive the other person, not for them but for you, and you truly try to live a life of light and channeling your energy will be able to be felt, and it will just help you understand that our energy changes as we continue to grow. My energy back then is nothing to the energy I have now. That's why I'm so blessed for growth. And what I'm trying to produce out to the world is positivity, authenticity, and to truly be able to get to the point where I can authentically say, I wish the best for you, depending on the person and situation. That's still an everyday journey. but I can tell you that my heart isn't bitter. I have moments of anger, but as we all do, because we're all human. And I just really want to produce nothing but love, kindness, and not to, and something that I know I have to work on is not to reciprocate the same energy that's given to me. Because if somebody's giving me bitter energy, then I'm going to be ready to be like, what's up? You know what I mean? So reciprocating, doing better every day. So that's been my journey, and that's why I'm so pro growth, pro get better every day. We all slip, we all make mistakes, we all feel anger, we all feel bitterness, we all feel all these different emotions, but bringing it into perspective, bringing it into logic, and truly taking a breath, saying a prayer, and fostering love. Because this world produces so much hatred, so many evil people out here. As Future said, it's the evil world we live in. People that you think in your corner aren't in your corner. And you can be bitter all day, but they're still going to go about their life and not even care. So that's why forgiveness has to be for you and for your own growth, and to be able to be mature in certain situations and in your own journey. So that's just my little dose about my journey with bitterness, and I'm just being real. Like, that's how I was, and I'm just so blessed to be able to produce love now and truly get to that point of where I can actually wish the best for people and truly mean it. And it's really a baby step to something big. Every day as I journey, small things lead to something big, and I'm just so happy to be free and open and have forgave all those who've ever done me harm, and forgiven myself for certain situations, and don't look at a person's life and just be angry. Just great, because you want that energy to come back on you. The positive energy you put out will come back. So I'm all about energy and just producing nothing but good energy. Don't drain your energy on things that's out of your control. People that's not in your life, people that's out of your control. Wish them what they deserve, and you just let it go. But okay, back to the face mask. So now, as I was chit-chatting with y'all, it's still not as pasty as I wanted it to be, or dry, I should say. So I think I have to have it sit on here for about 40 minutes, and I don't know how long I was talking for, so I'll come back in like 20 minutes.